Dear friends, dear viewers, welcome to Veggie Veda. Today I'm going to show you how to make a very easy recipe with chickpeas or chana. Now we all think, at least in India where I come from, that chickpeas or chana, they always were a part of our culture and we have been cooking them and eating them for centuries. Unfortunately, that's not true because chickpeas or chana, or you can also call it chole, they came to India also from the Middle East, from the Arab world, somewhere around the 14th, 15th century. There is no really authentic proof of it or evidence. But now we are the world champions. India produces almost, I think, about 65% of the total production of chickpeas all over the world. And one state of India which is I would say, or who are the undisputed kings and queens of cooking chana or chickpeas is Punjab. And funnily, I did not know that there was a dish called Chana Saag till I went to the UK on a holiday. But I liked it a lot, and that's what I'm going to show you today. Then let's get started with cooking chana saag. I have here, this is about everything together, it's going to be about 250 grams of chickpeas, or you also call it Kabuli chana in Hindi. So I'll just put this into this. Water is already warm. This in here, and you can use tinned chickpeas, or if you're using fresh chickpeas, then you have to soak the chickpeas overnight. If you don't soak the chickpeas overnight, your dish is going to take 2 hours to cook, and it's not going to be that what you would like to eat. So if you're using fresh chickpeas, soak them overnight, and in the morning then you can boil them the way I will show it to you. So, and you need to put lot of water in it, that all the chickpeas are covered in water, and maybe there is another few inches of water on top of that. And then again I will revert back to my old method of using a muslin cloth. My muslin cloth has some turmeric stains in it. I just couldn't get them off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put cinnamon, then I'm going to put bay leaves, then I will put cardamom, and I have red chilies, dried red chilies. They are really very, very hot. So I'll just put one of these. And then a few cloves. And one thing more that I'm going to put into my little bag of spices is 1 teaspoon of black tea leaves. Yes, you heard it right, and you saw it right. And now I'm going to make a little bag out of it, the way I did it for turmeric milk, and then I'm going to put it into the water pot for about, I would say normally it would take 30 to 40 minutes at least, so that your chickpeas are soft. chickpeas, they are cooked through. I have removed the spices, that little muslin bag, and I'm going to now leave the chickpeas in water, and that is the booster for chickpeas. Leave the chickpeas in the water till you are ready to use them. And the reason is that if you drain the water and put the chickpeas in a bowl, the chickpeas are going to become hard. In Hindi, the word for that is karare. Yes, they also taste nice that way, but in this dish, we do not want them to be to turn hard and crispy. We want them to stay soft. Now we are all set to make chana saag. Here you can see the rice which I already cooked today. There is another video about that which I will link with it, or maybe I will integrate. And now we need to get I have here something which is like a wok, or what we call in India kadhai, because that's how you get a good result. But you can also cook chana saag in a normal pan. And I'll start with this is rapeseed oil, but you can use any neutral oil. There is no hard and fast rule about that. And you need about 2 tablespoons of oil. And now I will add half a teaspoon of mustard seeds, black mustard seeds, and 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds. And do that, otherwise your kitchen will be full of mustard seeds, which you don't want because they pop. And once the mustard seeds have stopped popping, put in the onions. The process of caramelizing the onions is going to take at least 10 minutes. At least. It can also take 15 minutes, depends upon your source of heat, how hot it is. So don't rush this. If you do that, you're going to get this, taste of raw onion in your chana saag, which you don't want. So now here, I'm going to now add garlic and ginger. And people do it always this way, that you hold your chopping board like this and then slide your whatever ingredients you have, because that way you prevent any fat or oil from, springing into your face. If you could, smell all this here, it would be just wonderful, because you have now you can smell the garlic, and you can also smell the ginger and the spices. So it's just it makes you feel hungry, but one has to be a little bit careful. We don't eat too much of it. Now what comes is, you can use tomatoes. You can use fresh tomatoes if you want. It's up to you. You can use tinned tomatoes. You can use tomato puree. It's up to you. And you need approximately 200 grams, I would say, for the quantity that I'm cooking. And I'm going to use, this is not tomato puree, but it's something little bit thicker than tomato puree, and I'm just going to use about half of this bottle. To this mixture, or to this masala, I'm going to add about just it's maybe half a cup of water from the chickpeas, because then you get the real nice taste. And then you're going to cook it for about another, I would say maybe at least 10 minutes. Yeah, so this whole thing should now be about half a cup of water from the chickpeas. And now I'm going to add the chickpeas. This is now quite dry. The water has evaporated, and I'm going to now add chickpeas. Now the chickpeas are ready, because we cooked the mixture, the masala. The chickpeas have combined well with the masala, and now we will need to add the spinach. I have here frozen spinach. You can use fresh spinach as well, but if you're using fresh spinach, then you have to add the spinach really at the very end of the cooking process, and you just then maybe need another 8 to 10 minutes maximum so that the spinach starts to wilt. Otherwise, it's going to turn into some sort of a pesto, which we don't want. But I'm using frozen spinach, so I will but please thaw your frozen spinach before you add it. Just don't take it out from the freezer and put it into the pan. And now I'm going to add frozen spinach, and this is also about 300 grams. Now the spinach has also combined well with the chickpeas, and it's really the smell of it is just so gorgeous. It's just so appetizing and tasty. Yeah, I wish all of you could be here and have this with me today for lunch, but do prepare it yourself at home, and do share your comments online so that I know how it worked for you. And now I'm just going to put a little bit of, about half a teaspoon of coriander powder, dhania, a little bit of chili that you should adjust to your taste, and of course another half teaspoon of, little bit more than half teaspoon of turmeric powder, and salt. And dear friends, please use salt sparingly, because we eat so much of salt every day these days, and it's not good for health. So use very little salt. Well, of course it should be to your taste, but don't overdo it. And then mix the whole thing, and that's it, it's done. So now I have already served myself a little portion of rice, which I cooked another video, which I will link, or I will also integrate into this video, and my chana saag. You can have chana saag with rice, you can have it with chapatis, you can have it with naans, any way you want it. Now you can see that the smile is getting bigger on my face, because this is just, it reminds me so much of home, of India. The chanas, especially on Sundays, we would have either rajma chawal, that is kidney beans and rice, or we would have chana in some form with chapatis or rice or whatever way. So dear friends, do try this out and do tell me. Thanks for watching. Like my video, share my video, and subscribe to Veggie Veda. Bye bye, all the best.